Welcome to a 1v1 on Langriskaya. This is going to be another power struggle. King Sib, after a pretty respectable reign, unfortunately had to step down, and he has forfeit his throne, which means there is now yet another vacuum, and the two people we have stepping up to attempt to fill that void are CaptainSPrice and RedxWings. CaptainSPrice has previously dethroned RedxWings when he was our first Star-Crossed king. CaptainSPrice then began his illustrious second reign. But this is going to be the same matchup, and I think it's the same map. So I'm quite curious to see how RedxWings is going to adapt his strategy to take CaptainSPrice on, and most importantly, this is also a new patch. When CaptainSPrice and RedxWings faced off for the first time, it was still 17108 or whatever that version was, and this is the new patch with all of the changes to Oster, a couple changes to Soviets that didn't really impact 1v1 that heavily, except for, of course, the sniper, but I don't know if I've ever even seen RedxWings purchase a sniper, so his game is largely unaffected this game. But we're going to see, interestingly, a sniper first opening from CaptainSPrice, throwing that on the field immediately. He will start taking shots at combat engineers, making their way to the right side, jump in this building, and RedxWings is going with his signature Tier 1 Penal Battalion opening. He's going to get 2 penal battalions and then get an M3.
Penal troops are standing by.
And CaptainSPrice is, of course, going to go with his standard opening of wiring off his cutoff like crazy.
This is now German territory.
Sniper keeps taking shots, brings the combat engineer squad down to 1 man. It will retreat. Grenadiers continue making their way across the right side. And a fresh Grenadier squad is on the field. Penal Battalion continues to secure building control, and the sniper continues to take shots at range. Eventually, he will force the squad out of that building. It's going to take a little bit of time.
Resistance! Taking fire!
Sniper brings the squad down to 3 men. RedxWings, in the meantime, is taking control of the entire left, skipping past the fuel point, interestingly enough. M3 moving to meet up with the Penal Battalion, making its way across the center. Penal Battalion in a house, falling low, but they're going to keep that sniper exposed for a little longer. M3 drives over Price's barbed wire here on the cutoff. Penal Battalion will be able to move to take control of it now. Penal Battalion down to only 2 men remaining. Combat Engineers engaging Pyos here on the left. Combat Engineers will lose this, I think. Yep. Pyos have won. Combat Engineers retreat. Penal Battalion upgrade with the flamethrower here, but it couldn't find an opportunity to go in on that sniper. He does briefly take CaptainSPrice's cutoff to deny him the fuel point over here on the right side, but only for a very short time. And the sniper continues to kite penal battalions. Up to 8 kills already. M3 cannot find an opportunity against that sniper with a squad of screening grenadiers right there and has to disengage away. Sniper continues firing on that penal battalion, bringing it down to 1 man. I don't know what that scout car maneuver was right there. That was not good. He's on the road though, and I think he'll escape unless he goes down to small arms fire. It looks like he's going to make it away, despite some pretty awkward pathing. A couple squads need to reinforce here in the base. A fresh penal battalion is making its way towards the right side, but solo, it's just going to get picked off by that sniper. 9-10 kills already, 5 minutes into the game, which is pretty impressive. It hasn't retreated a single time. It has not even taken very much damage. No pressure on Price yet to get a medic bunker, although he is doing so with what looks like his first 60 munitions. And he's nabbing a kill with this thing faster than every 30 seconds, which is incredible. lethality for a sniper. RedxWings is bleeding manpower like crazy. And his M3 just can't seem to get an opportunity against it, with Grenadiers maintaining a very effective screen on all sides. Pheno Battalion with the flamethrower moving up to try and clean up that Grenadier screen and make some space for the M3 to make a push. The M3 is actually moving left with flamethrower penal assistance, not garrisons inside though. Wants to get there quick to push away those Pyos, and they will retreat immediately. And the sniper is up to 16 kills. Penal Battalion is trying to flank around the north of that sniper, get in his retreat path if possible. The M3 is moving to do the same, but it's going to get headed off by a fresh squad of Grenadiers over here. Sniper spots the Penal Battalion and is going to move south, exposing itself a little bit to an attack from the south, but unfortunately there are no squads available to attack it from that direction. And if RedxWings doesn't set up a multi-directional flank on that sniper, it just is not going to die. And clearly that is harder than it sounds. He needs to come at that sniper from multiple directions with his whole army basically to try and get past the Grenadiers' screen and take it out without losing too much manpower. And he needs to have at least one squad in its retreat path so that he can try and get a flame crit on it on retreat, or try and gun it down on retreat with the scout car flamethrower inside. RedxWings has decided to transition from his Penal Battalion build into a conscript squad. Mines going down here in the road. Penal Battalion looking around for an opportunity here in the center, and CaptainSPrice has taken control of pretty much the entire right side. Grenadiers are going to encounter combat engineers here on the left. Since they still have not been upgraded with the flamethrower, maybe they never will be. They have no way of winning these flank engagements without support. Scout car moving up to provide that support while Penal Battalions work on the center. Again, sniper up to almost 20 kills now. Flamethrowers moving up to engage squads in the house and green cover. That squad's falling low. Very late retreat, but they somehow managed to escape. RedxWings switches targets from the sniper to that Grenadier squad, but he's not able to wipe anything. M3 just exposed itself to a Panzerfaust and will be forced to pull back for repairs if not destroyed. Conscripts moving up to try and finish it off. Or Grenadiers moving up to try and finish it off, but they're forced to retreat. This squad of Grenadiers looks like it's going to try and hang around for another Panzerfaust. He's actually going with the rifle grenades. A little off target, has to readjust. Takes 2 losses. He's getting greedy. Oh, out of control. And the scout car will go down. Grenadier squad gets away by a hair. So RedxWings wipes nothing of Price's, inflicts quite a bit of manpower bleed on both sides. But I think CaptainSPrice is well ahead of RedxWings with 46 units killed, thanks in large part to his 24 kill sniper. I think over half of his kills are this sniper. Yes, 25. Over half of CaptainSPrice's kills on that one sniper. That CaptainSPrice sniper is so difficult to deal with. And he was utilizing the sniper effectively pre-patch. If you looked at his health, it never fell lower than just, I think, maybe 1 or 2 bullets connected with this guy. Other than that, he's been completely safe the entire game. CaptainSPrice's sniper positioning is really excellent. He keeps that thing in position to be firing constantly and never lets him get exposed to harm, and tries to keep it that way for the entirety of the game. He's only been forced to retreat 1 time, and only now has he stopped firing for just a few minutes, just slowing down the manpower bleed on RedxWings. A little bit of light map harassment happening over here on the right side by RedxWings is about to get countered as CaptainSPrice makes his way back out of the base. Penal Battalion here in the center needs to pull out of the center to avoid further bleed. And that is a 10-minute Vet 2 sniper. 10-minute Vet 2 sniper. That is so quick. Grenadiers standing in the capture circle are engaging these conscripts. Conscripts here without cover, falling low. RedxWings has chosen tank hunter tactics and is going to try his hand at PTRSs apparently. That should give him a little bit of protection against this 2-2-1. And if he can nail the sniper with 2 PTRS shots miraculously at range, that might help him take it out. Although because he has 82 health, it'll actually take 2 PTRS shots and one bullet from anything else to kill him. And RedxWings has gone tier 4, probably going to transition into his Su-76 build next, which should provide him with an effective tool against the 2-2-1, and possibly something with which to barrage his opponent's team weapons, should they become a threat later in the game. Since he's gone with 3 penal battalions and 2 squads of conscripts, he's not going to have a particularly egregious PTRS blob, but he will have a little bit of light anti-tank utility, possibly get some infantry shots off as well. The Su-76 is in production.
You have a use for these scum?
And I've never seen RedxWings utilize tank hunter tactics, I don't think. Maybe once. I've seen him use defensive tactics. I've seen him use lots of commanders that with the heavy mortar. I know he really likes the heavy mortar. This will be new, though. Grenadiers retreat from this PTRS-equipped squad. Combat engineers retreat immediately from an attempt for the right side. Su-76 is on the field, and RedxWings is just going to take advantage of vision blockers for now, harass the north, not engage too lethally, while he waits for his Su-76 to arrive. Destroys all the green cover next to his base. I wonder if that's going to come back to haunt him. Su-76 is on the field, but not firing at that Grenadier squad. Gonna wait for a juicier target to present itself. Shot is off target. Sniper will be fine. Light damage to that Pio squad. Slightly less light damage to that Pio squad. But largely I would say that Su-76 barrage didn't do much. I think the best he can really hope for with this unit now, when his barrages whiff like that, is to just try and poke at the scout car from range. Maybe try and take shots at the sniper if he can get a line on it. Penal Battalion will retreat to safety, taking significant damage. Anti-tank gun wall positioning is set up just right. Jeez. Look at that. CaptainSPrice's anti-tank gun positioning, sealing an engagement again. It happens every series I cast of this guy. It's amazing. His positioning is the name of the game for CaptainSPrice. He does it with his sniper so well, does it with his AT gun so well. That Su-76 just popped like a balloon. It had no time to react. Beautiful play by CaptainSPrice, and RedxWings is in even more precarious a position than before. At least he has the salvage kit on his combat engineers. He gets a little bit of manpower and fuel back from that wreck. That's something. Losing that Su-76 when it has 0 kills is a huge resource investment down the drain, though. That's going to be tough for RedxWings to come back from, if not impossible. PTRS is engaging a squad in red cover. Nail one squad member before transitioning into some green cover there. Probably gonna be forced to retreat though. Doesn't want to take that rifle grenade. Nice bit of munitions expenditure though. PTRSs take shots. The scout car, penal battalions, flamethrowing from medium range will force that retreat, making a frontal assault here. CaptainSPrice does not have an MG42, so there's not really anything that can stop a frontal assault that effectively. Trying to get in range on the sniper if possible. 2-man squad engaging penal battalion over there on the left side. Might get crit to death if they're not careful. Squad in the house also falling low. PTRS squad has to retreat after falling low. Penal Battalion loses the engagement against those Grenadiers. Sniper has not been made to retreat, and he's up to 43 kills. That is almost 3 kills a minute. That is incredible. On average, 1 kill every 20 seconds. Every 20 seconds for the whole game, 1 kill. That is amazing. So difficult to maintain that. He exposes himself to flamethrower fire. No crit though. No crit. He's gonna run out of camouflage. One more burst. I think. There it is. Does not crit again. Oh, there's the crit with attack ground. There it is, and the 45 kill sniper gets pushed around like a ragdoll by the 222. Oh, RedxWings gambled and it paid off. They must be praising Relic right now. That 45 kill sniper gave CaptainSPrice huge return on investment. Oh, that retreat path rifle nade! The plays this game. Wow. That timing, that was beautiful, and he punishes RedxWings for his extermination of that sniper with a squad wipe. Look at this. Madness right now. Katyusha on the field from RedxWings is going to bombard the Auster base, apparently. I don't know if it's going to pick anything up there. Man. PTRS is setting up right here. Ooh, what was that? I heard something explode. Oh, 222 hits a mine. It's a mine. Nice mine placement by RedxWings. Meanwhile, PTRSs are winning an engagement against those LMG Grenadiers, and they'll be forced to retreat. Pretty lethal game on both sides at this point. CaptainSPrice is in the lead in the sense that he has 2 AT guns on the field, but other than that, things are pretty even. He only has one more infantry squad than RedxWings does. And RedxWings has a Katyusha, so pretty significant losses on both sides. The manpower bleed has been extremely significant for RedxWings. I think more so for RedxWings, but he's probably one lucky Katyusha barrage away from equalizing things. But CaptainSPrice has made it to his own tier 4, so both of them have gone tier 4. CaptainSPrice obviously having to make more of an investment to do so. He's probably going to go Panther once that Panther's on the field. RedxWings has Tank Hunter tactics, which to combat it, but not much beyond that. So, not sure what's going to happen. Grenadiers working on the left side. Trying to push those Grenadiers into that demo charge. Oh, he's so close. He just needs that model to die. He's trying to flame that one model down, but he can't do it. This Penal Battalion moving up. Will also be forced to retreat. Here comes the Katyusha barrage. A little off target, unfortunately. RedxWings will be forced to retreat with pretty severe losses and having inflicted almost none of his own, falling further behind for manpower. These Grenadiers are getting so much vet that his Penal Battalions are having trouble competing, especially without fielding superior numbers. We do have Field Infirmary from RedxWings, so he will have access to healing now, making his way towards the center, possibly north. CaptainSPrice has made a full retreat from the right side, though. 2 AT guns just sitting in the base for now, since he does not really need them unless he wants to try and make a really aggressive play against that Katyusha.
You have a use for this scum? You need something
Combat engineers working the right side. PTRS conscripts working the right side. These two squads making their way over towards the left, try and deal with this. Do have another demo charge going down. That could be a good one. If he can get a return on both of those demo charges, he might be better poised to take on that Panther. It's going to be difficult with 5 squads of LMG Grenadiers supporting. At some point, he's probably going to have to back tech to tier 2 and get anti-tank guns. Unless he wants to kill it just with mines and the anti-tank bomb strike. No demo charge opportunities yet. Conscripts working that fuel point. Grenadiers setting up in cover. Katyusha pounding away at something. Center victory point. Gets a little bleed. No wipe though, I don't think. Minesweeper Pio is going to work on the munitions over here. Grenadiers still not exposing themselves to demo charges yet. Minesweeper Pio is working the left side, will not spot either of those demo charges, and then Panther is on the field, and RedxWings has timed his Su-85 perfectly for that thing's arrival. He should be able to keep it somewhat at bay. Conscripts running up into short range against these LMG Grenadiers, but their PTRS shots do not connect, and he'll immediately retreat. Penal Battalion circling around to deal with the Minesweeper Pio is right there. Another Penal Battalion making his way towards the center. Su-85 not moving up to engage just yet, wants to play it safe against that Panther. Nice usage of the Minesweeper by CaptainSPrice, by the way. He has swept this entire area for mines, so he knows that the area is pretty safe for his Panther to advance, and he catches that demo charge with the Minesweeper, and his Grenadiers destroy it with small arms fire. Nice Minesweeper play by CaptainSPrice there, clearing out this area for his Panther, but he still won't get too aggressive with the Su-85, and PTRS is hanging out in the general area. Does need to be careful. Su-85 shot bounces against the Panther. Conscripts cross the road, but he still has not researched Molotovs, relying completely on lucky PTRS shots to turn engagements. I'm not sure who was going to win that one, honestly. PTRS headshotted one of those Grenadiers. He was forced to retreat. Penal Battalion working on the left side. Fuel cutoff. Panthers kind of pulled back a little bit, and CaptainSPrice is going to field his anti-tank guns back to the center of the map. Try to take out that Su-85 should he find an opportunity. Combat engineers working on the left side, or right side strategic point. And a Katyusha's firing somewhere. Firing at the base again. Trying to hope for a lucky rocket. Oh, he almost gets one. That was so close. But he will be fine. Conscripts will get forced away there. Combat engineers finish capturing this sector. Penal Battalion finishes capturing this sector. 2 squads of Grenadiers working on the left side force the Penal Battalion that was over there to retreat. Panther getting really aggressive. Look at this push. Oh no! Anti-tank gunshots connecting. PTRS is trying to move up to support. I don't think he can survive this. Not without some sort of miracle. He's tossing a satchel, but that Panther is long gone. Took beautiful advantage of that opportunity right there, where RedxWings infantry was all pushed completely off the field. Moved those anti-tank guns up into just aggressive enough of a position to take out that Su-85, and I'm sure that they're going to make their way right back to CaptainSPrice's base. Happy with that engagement. He took out a big fuel investment, and he's going to pull back and continue to play safe and patient, not press his advantage unnecessarily right here. The Katyusha is still alive. That's pretty much the only significant threat left to Price on the battlefield. Unfortunately, RedxWings doesn't have the munitions collected for a miracle anti-tank bomb run or something to take out that Panther at the last second. He's going to move up and try and take out the scout car here, I think. Katyusha bombarding this area, dealing light damage to some base structures. PTRS is dealing with flamethrower support, dealing pretty good damage to those Grenadiers. That bunker's gonna be destroyed pretty soon just by Katyusha fire, eventually. And unfortunately for Red Wings, his salvage kit engineers got wiped. Which is a pretty painful loss because it's 100 munitions to build one of those. He's going to do it though. He really wants that manpower and fuel from his Su-85 wreck. So that's 200 munitions spent by Red Wings on those salvage kits this game. He really needs to keep that squad alive. That is an expensive squad to lose. Especially in a commander that's quite munitions hungry.
Fresh conscripts have arrived.
Meanwhile, Captain Price has a massive fuel advantage right now. He's got excellent map control. He's already got a Panther on the field. 200 more fuel in the bank. We might see Broom Bear. We might see Panzerwerfer. We might see second Panther. When you're in this position, you have so much freedom as Oster. It's so painful in the early game to feel boxed into Grands, maybe one team weapon. But in the late game, after you've wriggled your way into a nice comfy position, taking out 45 models worth of manpower with a sniper, taking out Su-85 and Su-76. You know your opponent spent a bunch of resources on tier 4. You've already got a Panther on the field. You've already spent all your munitions on upgrades. That's when your options really open up. Katyusha hasn't really landed any great hits. It's only got 5 kills despite having fired, I don't know, 5 barrages? One kill per barrage is not a very good batting average. You definitely want to do better than that with your Katyusha, if possible. Captain Price doing a good job of managing the threat it poses, just keeping himself very spread out. Hasn't lost any full squads. His AT guns are well out of sight.
Taken our supply sector.
PTRS is plinking away at that Panther. Not going to do anything very impressive. Penal Battalion probably won't be able to cross this road. Grenadiers set up in the yellow cover craters over here. And outnumbered. 2 squads making their way across the right side, probably also not going to make a whole lot of progress. Salvage kit combat engineers are going to be forced to retreat over there, and Red Wings is planting stun mines all over the left side of the map to try and make an opportunity against the Panther if it exposes itself for too long, maybe. Conscripts working on the strategic point right there. Anti-tank guns getting aggressive against a new Su-85, which he has spotted with these Pyos. Red Wings will reposition it to safety, and the Katyusha is perfectly positioned to respond. Beautiful barrage. Punishes Captain Price hard for that little maneuver. Look at that. Almost destroying one of the guns entirely, but that Panther isn't happy about that turn of events. He's going to get really aggressive right into Red Wings' base. There's the AT grenade, though. Damaged engine on the Panther. It's so exposed. He's taking so much damage from stuff, but... Oh, I didn't know who was going to fire first, and the Panther goes down. Red Wings moves into close range just to seal the deal. I don't know whose favor this game is going, and Red Wings now stealing an anti-tank gun here with the Penal Battalion. What a turnaround. A second Panther now in production for Captain Price, but he's going to be forced to contend with what looks like a stolen anti-tank gun. The Su-85 has destroyed the other one. Nice play. Katyusha will be available to fire again in 45 seconds, but it looks like everything is going to get pushed away here. Captain Price overextended that time. Red Wings was ready for it. Dive bomb coming in on the base. Look out. Infantry. Oh, no. Another full squad of combat engineers and penal battalions wiped. You cannot underestimate that Pio vision range buff. They were able to see right up to the headquarters. And another salvage kit is destroyed. Red Wings queuing up another combat engineer squad, another penal battalion. Kind of sours his victory a little bit right there. That Stuka dive bomb nailing him. Captain Price has chosen Jaeger armor. I don't know if we've seen any doctrinal features up until this point. The second Panther getting aggressive, misses its shot against the Katyusha. Does not suffer engine damage, however, to the AT grenade right there. This pack will get stolen. Cannot delay that issue any further. Needs to get that under his control, healed, reinforced, and brought to bear against that Panther. I wonder if Red Wings is going to buy another salvage kit for 100 munitions to salvage this Panther. Katyusha barrage is just off target for this blob, fortunately. Oh, that spread was pretty good though. Got a few extra kills. Katyusha's up to Vet 1, giving him access to concentrated barrage. It certainly has had a dramatic impact. It didn't do a whole lot of manpower bleed that game, but it certainly made a massive difference in the last engagement that we saw. Repairs going up on the SU-85 right now. If he chooses to get the salvage kit next, he'll also be able to boost his manpower and fuel by salvaging the dead Panther. And possibly... I don't know what he might do. Next, he might go second SU-85, might throw out another Katyusha. He actually has quite a few options now as well. Having the stolen anti-tank gun is definitely going to help a lot. Just light economic harassment right there. That demo charge is still sitting on that point after all this time. A little bit of manpower bleed for Red Wings, kind of just trading. There it is, there's the third salvage kit. Let's count. 6 manpower, 4 fuel. 6 manpower, 2 fuel. Is that just random? I guess so. 6 manpower, 2 fuel. Well, got 8 fuel out of a wreck. I mean, that's pretty neat. I guess. I don't know. I guess you get more for Tigers. If there's not that many vehicle wrecks on the field, I think it's a good return on investment if you keep it alive for the entire game. If you lose it like over and over again, though. Not so much. I also am not 100% clear on what you can salvage. Can you only salvage vehicle wrecks, or is it like OKW where you can salvage team weapons and other these wrecks as well? You can salvage these wrecks too and probably get pretty good economy out of that. It doesn't actually mean anything? Oh, alright. Thanks, Cruz. Silly me for thinking the UI was going to provide useful information about an ability. Oh, there he goes. The demo charge finally wipes something. Finished off with a flame crit over there on the right side. Captain Price now truly kind of falling behind a little bit in the manpower game, down to 4. Well, not really. He has 600 manpower in the bank, so that isn't really true. But he's got 4 squads of Grenadiers, 2 Pios, to 3 Cons, 2 Penals. And there's a Katyusha and SU-85 on the field, to a Panther and... Panther. And Scout Car. Katyusha just randomly bombarding the middle, doesn't hit anything really. Penal Battalion working on the left side. Strategic point. Conscripts moving up at their PTRS to try and plank away at the Panther and maybe get the center VP captured again. We'll also see 1 squad of LMG Grenadiers defending the left side, and Red Wings has not found an opportunity to go work on that for quite some time. And Red Wings is going to transition to Tier 3. Interesting choice. I wonder what he's going to purchase. Maybe a T-70 for harassment and counter-harassment of the left against solo infantry squads. That would probably be a good call. But his opponent has got an Elephant. So that may prove difficult to deal with a Panther for getting aggressive on the front lines and an Elephant pounding away from the rear. That Su-85 is probably really going to struggle. Fortunately, RedxWings does have an anti-tank gun, so he has some counter to this that is not armored. But he's really struggling to break out of his base right now. Looks like we might see him stop getting aggressive and try and make a push for the left side, but that might open him up to a push by CaptainSPrice straight for his base again. If the Elephant moves up to take shots at the Katyusha or fires at the Su-85, gets a line on it, RedxWings could be in really serious danger. Especially since most of his forces are indeed heading to the left side. And we do have spotting scopes upgraded on the 222. Somebody just asked me to check vision, and its vision range is ridiculous. As you can see, CaptainSPrice can see pretty much the entire map with his 222 providing vision right up to RedxWings headquarters, which is pretty ridiculous. I can't believe it has that vision range. That is so crazy far. Look at that. He can see into RedxWings base from the other side of the map. So that's the vision range there. Nice pickup by RedxWings on the left side though. Solo Penal Battalion wipes that Grenadier squad. CaptainSPrice not paying attention. Anti-tank grenade does not penetrate. Conscripts need to retreat. What are they waiting for? That was a late retreat and an unfortunate retreat path. I think that's going to be a squad wipe. There they go. Top mount machine gun takes them down. Hoorahing in close to try and nade the scout car, I think. And he will damage its engine. Again with the Elephant over here, I don't think RedxWings can safely advance and try and take anything out with the Su-85. He is dealing a decent amount of plink damage to the Panther, and the scout car will go down to his PTRSs. I'm sure RedxWings would like to salvage that, but it's just not going to happen this close to CaptainSPrice's base. Katyusha cannot fire on this cluster, unfortunately. RedxWings will be forced to make a full retreat. Going Elephant against Tank Hunter tactics is probably a little bit weak. You can see that RedxWings is managing it to the best of his ability. He has gone T-34 now. Not sure what a T-34 has to contribute against an Elephant and a Panther. 40 T-34, it's a little late to the party. I guess if it dies he can salvage some of his investment back, but I mean, other than that, he's gonna have to make some pretty miraculous maneuvers with that thing. Katyusha is available to fire on the Gren blob here in the center if I can find a good opportunity. Ooh, was that a concentrator barrage? Yes, it was. He needs a PTRS to connect. None of them fire, though. Squad will get away. Anti-tank gun moves up to fire on the Elephant, so it's going to pull back to a more safe location. Su-85 needs to not expose itself too much. Ooh, oh, wow, I think every one of those PTRS shots connected. Did you see that? That squad went down so quick. Jeez. I don't know what the vet bonuses are for conscripts, but if it gives them an accuracy bonus, that might help explain what just happened. Because that was ridiculous. PTRS is probably the closest thing we have to a shotgun in the game now. Run up into close range to maximize your chances and just blast them with one big shot and hope for the best. PTRS conscripts move up for the AT grenade on a Panther but do not damage its engine. Penal Battalion engaging this squad over here is about to eat a rifle grenade though. Ouch. They're going to need to retreat. RedxWings working the center victory point, try and turn the clock in his favor, but he loses that full Penal Battalion. Oh, Katyusha in Price's base. It's a little off target, and Price is actually back tech to tier 3 and is getting himself an Ostwind. Interesting decision. wants a little bit more anti-infantry punch for these conscripts. Another squad of which is going to die, Red Wings. Red Wings, what are you doing? Pay attention to your squads. It is a 40-minute game. Mistakes are going to be made, but it's really coming down to the wire right now, and this is not the time to just be losing squads randomly. Bomb run doesn't really hit anything. Su-85 moving up in a most suicidal fashion to engage that Panther. Those conscripts sacrifice themselves to get that engine damage to happen. Is that engine destroyed? That's engine destroyed, but the Su-85 isn't going to be able to stick around, I don't think. A T-gun may be another story. I don't know. T-34 moving up to provide vision and tank a little bit of the damage, but it takes a huge hit from the Elephant before it can round the corner. And all of Price's infantry is moving to support, and despite that really lucky engine crit, that Panther's going to be just fine. And I think this AT gun may fall back into Captain Price's hands. I could be wrong though. Full force of Red Wings infantry making its way up from the left flank. Panther slowly being repaired. He fired the Katyusha barrage to screen against Captain Price's infantry, so he wasn't able to use it on the repairing Panther and try and take out the Pio squads right there. And Red Wings will be forced to make a full retreat. Captain Price's combined arms right now are just too much to take on. He's got this heavy assault gun in the back, medium tank for pushing the front lines, and now this flak panzer as well. Really nice mixed army from both players. The Ulster late game core unit loadout, plus of course the benefit of the Elephant is way stronger than a T-34 and an Su-85. This T-34 is nowhere near the level of the Panther because of its lower cost. If Red Wings could get out a second or third T-34, maybe you'd have a little bit more weight to throw around. Captain Price is a little bit weak in the anti-tank gun department, and as long as he could stay behind that Elephant, might be okay. He hasn't lost any of his fuel investments for a while. Has done a much better job of keeping these vehicles alive than his first Su-85 or Su-76. But he's really struggling to maintain victory point control. The center victory point's been contested many times this game, but clearly Captain Price has a huge lead, and that Ostwind is going to make things pretty rough for Red Wings if he can't find a way to get in position to take it out. Katyusha bombarding randomly in this area. Not going to particularly connect very well. It has 20 kills. 20 kills, and it's up to Vet 2, so throughout the course of the game, despite missing a few barrages, it certainly contributed. And Captain Price is actually going with a second Ostwind. Going into 2 Ostwinds against tank hunter tactics seems a little risky. See if he can pull it off, though. Red Wings has lost all of his PTRS squads, so he's fielding fresh ones now. It's going to take a little while before he has that anti-tank presence that he had before. With 200 fuel in the bank, he now has to kind of decide whether he wants more conscripts for their PTRSs or if he wants more vehicles. Obviously, with that Elephant on the field, vehicle play becomes very difficult. Not impossible if he can pull off a nicely executed flanks. But two Austrians defending the point just wrecked that conscript squad immediately. Penal battalions will also be forced to retreat. Anti-tank gun is set up to engage right here, but it's taking Ostwind fire from 2 directions, one through the hedge, one frontally. And grenadier fire. You will need to get that thing back for healing. Nice concentrated barrage. Perfectly placed. Wipes that squad. Captain Price down to only 3 squads of infantry, and despite losing those grenadiers, is still at 91 pop cap because of his armored force. What is this play? Apparently there's a T-34 in Captain Price's base taking out the medic bunker. It will be destroyed though by the Panther, since it just took engine damage. The 2 Austrians will continue to defend in the center and be more than enough to keep that force of penal battalions from advancing. The Elephant continues to remain in the center as well, which means that the Su-85 cannot move up to take shots at anything. T-34 is dead. Su-85 moves to respond to this engagement, but it's way too late. and is just going to pull back. He knows there's no way he can engage that Panther without overextending himself at this point. Red Wings AT gun positioning just not coming through for him at all. Katyusha firing in this area, anti-tank gun, and Su-85 will take down an Ostwood despite it trying to blitz to safety. Very nice positioning on the Su-85. Wow, what are those Grenadiers doing? They just walked right through a brutal Katyusha barrage. I think he's trying to move up and provide vision on the base for another... no, he doesn't have the munitions for a bomb run. I don't know what that was, but he took a lot of damage. Almost lost another full squad during the course of that. CaptainSPrice will destroy Rex. Good policy against tank hunter tactics. Try and prevent them from being salvaged. Red Wings does not need fuel, but he certainly could use manpower. And as we all know, just like in the real war, the Soviets used Rex to just like generate flesh machines and just fuse robotic conscripts out of the, like cyborgs out of the tank twisted metal. Replacing their losses with automatons. Su-85 moves up, but it's being screened away by the Elephant. Look at that damage. Has to be so careful. Anti-tank bomb strike just got called in. I don't think that's going to hit anything though. It's kind of just in the middle of all this stuff. It doesn't hit anything at all. T-34 takes a big hit from the Elephant and will need to pull back to safety. Red Wings really struggling, having lost so much infantry. He's holding his line, impressively enough, because the Elephant can't really advance.
Flamethrower standing by. Engineers ready for assignment.
I think we might see a big push here by CaptainSPrice. He's leading the charge with the Panther because it has the most health to work with, and trying to brute force the AT gun down with Ostwinds in the back. It's Vet 2, and it is surviving a surprising amount of fire right here. It's still kicking. Su-85 takes a shot at the Panther. Ostwind pulls back with just a sliver of health remaining. Panther might go down here to Su-85. Fire. There it goes! Every shot at max range penetrating. Look at this. Elephant wants to trade, but the smoke screen may protect him. Attacks ground through the smoke. It does not connect. Su-85 shot does connect, and it's going to pull back behind this building. I think it's probably fine. Penal Battalion moves up to crew the field gun. CaptainSPrice only currently has 65 fuel, just because he spent so much on the tier 3 structure, on 3 Ostwinds, the Elephant, so he actually can't afford a new Panther right now. That wasn't really a loss that he's likely to be very happy about. That really opens up the field for the Red Wings T-34, by the way. Nice play to get that stolen AT gun off the field. Look what a difference one stolen AT gun makes. Brutally loses an Ostwind to it, a Panther to it, so much stuff. I think Red Wings can salvage this wreck. If he can get in position, he might be able to salvage that, since CaptainSPrice seems to have forgotten to destroy it. And if he can bolster his manpower income and fuel income enough that way, maybe if he gets a good T-34 swarm onto the field, he could make something happen. This entire army can be countered by a swarm of maybe 4 T-34s. Austrians don't have much to contribute. Grenadiers can damage the engine. Elephant, of course, if it can get shots off, can contribute. If it gets swarmed, though, it may not be able to. And if it rotates itself backwards during the course of a T-34 swarm engagement, the Su-85 can move up from the rear and probably kill it. So, not sure what's going to happen here. We're looking at a 50-minute game. Red Wings is running out of time, but he's got a window of opportunity here where he has 2 T-34s and his opponent has no medium tanks that can fight T-34s. 50 minutes into the game. Katyusha's a nice thing to have too, to bleed his opponent's infantry. I mean, look at the infantry forces. 2 Grenadier squads remain for Price, 2 Penal Battalions remain for Red Wings. He's spending the last reserves of his economy on a third T-34. He'll probably have no choice but to go in with it at this point. He's gonna, I don't know, he might be able to get a fourth one up before he starts seriously running out of time. He will be able to salvage the Panther. RedxWings gets a pretty good chunk of manpower and fuel out of the Panther right there. T-34, what is that T-34 doing? It just went in solo right up against that elephant. That's gonna die. I don't know why he would send that in alone. It does, however, free up an opportunity for his Su-85 and other T-34 here on the Ostwind. It's not firing, though. Oh, wow, RedxWings just got a really lucky main gun destroyed crit on this Ostwind. It will die to a stolen PTRS, though. If he doesn't move that Su-85 into this engagement, though, I don't know what he's going to accomplish. Katyusha firing in the area will wipe that Pio squad. Very nice spread on that rocket. Rams the, why would he do that? He just rammed the elephant frontally, which does nothing but cruise shock it, and extremely minor damage. This is a terrible engagement right now. He is going to convince that elephant to rotate its rear to the Su-85, though, finally. Going for the blocking maneuver, elephant is rotating to fire on the Su-85, which should really pull back to safety. It's gonna die, no! I think. Oh, the elephant hit the ground! Oh my god, I don't know what's gonna happen. That Su-85 just keeps firing. It's so quick, but finally the elephant gets a shot off before the T-34 can save him. Oh, that's tragic. Now this T-34 has almost no counter available right here. Bomb strike comes in but doesn't really hit anything. CaptainSPrice boxed into his base by one almost dead T-34 with a messed up vision block and damaged engine. Oh, the carnage. RedxWings salvaging Rex may be able to just keep fielding T-34s. Gets a Katyusha barrage off on these Grenadiers, but there he goes. Finally destroyed. If he can get up into position to salvage these Rex, well, the Rex are almost destroyed, actually, by Katyusha fire, so probably not of resource reserves left in there. But if he can just keep T-34 production going, take out those Ostwinds and pressure, I don't know, pressure CaptainSPrice into what will probably be another Panther. Once the next Panther arrives, RedxWings will be in a lot of trouble. It's going to be hard to take on a Panther without any PTRS conscripts remaining. But during the course of these engagements, he's managed to secure a lot of map control. He's had these two strategic points for a while. Did hold the center victory point for a while. Probably be able to chase away that squad of Grenadiers with these two penal battalions. His combat engineering squad might be able to get that fuel. If he can get the fuel under his control, then he'll really be able to crank up T-34 production. He might consider going Su-85 instead next once he sees that Panther. I don't know. With the elephant destroyed, he has a lot more freedom to use Su-85s on this map. T-34 is on the field while the Panther is still in production. Ooh, Katyusha gets some huge hits in the base. Jeez, and it may destroy that bunker as well. Losing those bunkers hurts. Just a Katyusha fire. Very nice. Very good play by RedxWings. When he doesn't know what to shoot at, he just fires at the HQ and gets at least some return on that investment. Good to keep that thing firing as frequently as possible when it's Vet 3. Look how quick the cooldown is on that barrage. T-34 dealing nice pressure to these infantry formations. And another T-34 is in production. I kind of think he's going to need to go Su-85 next. He's got the fuel to support this, though. Two T-34s before his next Su-85 versus two Ostwinds and a Panther. It's going to be an interesting dynamic. Really interesting combined core units play here because of commander selection. We did see an elephant hit the field, and it was used effectively, but no Tigers, no T-34-85s, no IS-2s, just core units slugging it out. That T-34 just died low. I don't know what this maneuver is. Exposed itself to that Panther and Ostwinds for too long, and it will go down. And now that RedxWings sees this, he's probably going to throw an Su-85 out next. He doesn't have a whole lot of munitions to spare right now because of I don't even know. I don't even know where his munitions is going, but he probably needs to start considering more mines. If he can nail these tanks with some late game mines, that would definitely help. Oh, that T-34 is gonna expose itself too! What is it doing? Oh my goodness, get out of there. Full squad of Penal Battalion about to go down. Barely gets away alive. Not really any defensive mines here in RedWings base to save him. Su-85 is in production, one mine there on the road. Trying to salvage this Su-85, but he couldn't do it, and the Panther will destroy the wreck. He only got just a tiny amount of resources out of that. Still had most of the wreck's health remaining.
We have an isolated sector. Awaiting orders. Our territory is
There's another squad wipe. The clock is still stopped. 66 points. This game has been ridiculous. 57-minute game. This is game 1 of the series. Game 1 of the day. Man. And it's almost an hour long now.
55 to deploy.
Everyone deserves a chance at redemption. The enemy is taking a toll on the Strasniki.
T-34 providing vision. Su-85 providing firepower in the back. Penal battalions will be forced to retreat. T-34 falls very low to Panther fire and needs to try and get to safety. Price still has vision. You cannot underestimate those spotting scopes. I feel like something has spotting scopes. Yeah, Ostwind has spotting scopes. So, Katusha firing at something. Immediate retreat from those Pios. Probably a good call. Doesn't want to bleed any more manpower than he has to. Those two Ostwinds are up to Vet 2 and Vet 1. 15 and 28 kills between them. If RedWings had just preserved his armor better in earlier engagements, I feel like he could have won the game by now, honestly. When he had 3 T-34s to his opponent's 2 Ostwinds and an Elephant, he was in such a strong position, and he's just let that slip through his fingers, and now he's struggling to sort of come back. His economy has fallen behind. He's losing victory points again. Only 50 now remain. Penal Battalion moving for the center victory point.
assault gun ready for action.
You need screening troops.
Panther's been fully repaired. And the clock stopped once again. Ostwind's moving to counter harassment at the strategic point. They pretty much have to retreat immediately on site just to try to avoid getting wiped. Su-85 is positioned to get some shots off on the Panther. Moves up, takes a shot of its own. Lots of shots penetrating. T-34 will pressure it into retreating. If it gets behind the Panther, it's a serious problem, so can't let that happen. Ostwinds are a little exposed. Looks like CaptainSPrice is going to get aggressive here. He's going to wipe the salvage kit using Blitz to circle strafe. Anti-tank bomb strike just got called in on RedWings' own T-34, I think. And it doesn't really hit anything. Again, Su-85 is flanked by those Ostwinds and will be destroyed. Can't really underestimate their firepower against the Su-85's rear armor is respectable, and I think RedWings is about to lose both of his tanks and a full Penal Battalion here on the flank. Panther shot misses. Katusha barrage going in on some stuff back here, but both Ostwinds still alive by just a sliver, and the T-34 is destroyed. RedWings now reduced to no armor remaining at all. Nice maneuver by CaptainSPrice right there, by the way. Too bad RedWings didn't have any mines protecting his flank.
Standing by. You need something built?
Salvaging his dead T-34. Lonely combat engineer. Squad picking up the pieces. This poor Katusha driver watching everybody else die, sitting in the base.
We have a new T-34 standing by.
RedWings fields himself a new T-34. If he can salvage this Su-85 wreck, that might help a little. Finally, he's planting a mine.
Forces are attempting to capture our territory.
So late, though.
We have orders.
I feel like so many munitions were wasted by Red Wings on this anti-tank bomb run, not used in conjunction with the stun mines, not used in conjunction with regular mines. I feel like it's naive to expect that to actually hit anything, just cross your fingers and pray. We really needed to combine that with mine placement, AT grenades for damaged engine, whatever it is, anything. Fresh squad of conscripts hitting the field. The clock is still stopped while Captain Price is pulled back for repairs. He's fielding just about nothing but pyos at this point. His two Austrians are fully repaired. They're going to go work the right side, probably wipe that squad on retreat. Panther's now been fully repaired, and he's going to move to get more territory under his control now that he's got his armor reserves brought back onto the battlefield. These Austrians just cannot hit anything. Like, wow, what are they doing? They're just going to dive straight into the base, though. Why not? There's nothing to stop them. The one T-34 on the field is repaired just now. Just it had engine damage, but it's now repaired, making its way to try and assist here. The Penal Battalion in the base is somehow still alive, oorahing behind the base. Austrians are going to pull back to safety when the T-34 shows itself. Conscript squad is on the center point. He actually is going to be able to salvage this wreck in the midst of these engagements and get some resources back for maybe a second T-34 or Su-85. Satchel charge thrown on his own squad. Takes out 2 of the 4 guys. Conscripts moving up into short range for an anti-tank grenade assault, I think, maybe. Or they're just going to stand there because Red Wings has no munitions. No munitions for Red Wings. Katyusha going off over here, and we now have a second Panther on the field. 2 Panthers, 2 Austrians. Captain Price's economy finally pulls well back into the lead. We're probably going to see Red Wings overwhelmed in this next push, unless he can pull off some kind of miracle. And I don't really know what that miracle would look like, but he needs one.
A sector has been cut off. We need to re-establish our supply lines.
Conscripts and Penal Battalion have to retreat. 1 mine hit by that Panther. Not sure it matters though. Austrians diving into the base. All of Red Wings infantry is getting cleaned up. Katyusha bombarding the Panther so it cannot receive repairs. T-34 making a desperate attempt at a flank, but there's a Vet 2 Panther right there that's in perfectly good condition. Another T-34 on this flank. Both T-34s firing at the destroyed engine Panther. In reality, they should probably be firing at this one. This one's not going anywhere. Satchel on the Panther with a working engine. How does that make any sense? So hipster, Red Wings. Both T-34s will be destroyed. And Red Wings loses all of his infantry. These 2 squads are going to get wiped by the Austrians, which are still in perfectly good health, but it doesn't matter. There it is. Red Wings is finally overwhelmed by the sheer might of Oster Tier 4. We saw some really good play and counterplay this game. Great way to kick off the tournament today with an hour-long game. Beautiful game. That one's one for the history books, and I think Red Wings is just the player who made slightly more mistakes and just didn't quite punish his opponent for some overly aggressive tank maneuvers and made some overly aggressive tank maneuvers himself. And that's going to happen in an hour-long game. Mistakes are going to be made. This is exactly how Company of Heroes is meant to be played, if you ask me. GG. Axis wins.